is very important to us. Please hold.
Hello and welcome back to
On Hold with Lulu and
Hello
Roman.
and welcome back.
Please hold.
Hello,
On Hold.
welcome back. Hello and welcome back.
Please hold.
On Hold with Lulu and Roman.
Hello, welcome back. Hello, welcome back. Hello, welcome back.
Please hold.
Hello and welcome to On Hold with me, Lindu Ngongwani. It's been a while. Hey, I haven't done a solo video in a while where I'm just on my own. We've been enjoying live conversations with people, and I appreciate anybody and everybody who comes through and would like to share their perspective, because that's what my platform is always about. It's about hold on, think about those things that are always running in your mind. Every time you see something happens and you want to think about it and you see it different, my thing is I want to share how I think about it so that other people can maybe think about it in that way as well. So when there are people who are also willing to share their perspective, their experiences, what they're going through in life, it enriches my life too, and I hope it enriches your life too. So I appreciate it. And it's hard, guys, to get people to talk. People are afraid of social media, afraid of being on videos and talking, and also they don't have permission from people around them to actually talk about what they want to talk about. There's a lot of fear to say, but you know, I don't want to hurt people. So it's a lot and it gets difficult, but you know what, I hope we get to a point where we are all free to be able to talk. So if you want to come on hold, please do that. Get hold of me, and then let's have you for a live. Today I want us to talk about peer pressure. So you know, I've got boys, and boys have friends, and there are children around me. So there are children that are around me that would ask questions, but this particular time it's kids that I drive to school. When we drive my sons, we take them with, and one of them asked me, Mom, when does peer pressure end for teenagers, like if you're a teenager? So I thought about it, and I'm like, but I didn't actually think hard because I had to answer because we were almost at school. So I said, you know, I don't think it ends, and I don't think it's about being a teenager, because I think even as an adult, it just carries on and on and on and on. As adults, we go through a lot of peer pressure. I dropped them at school. I had to think about it on my way to work to say, this child is right, you know. And then I had to think about times where I probably acted due to pressure. And maybe it's not about peers, the pressure. It could be just pressure. It could be pressure from family, friends, the community, expectations that people have on you, expectations you have about yourself. There's a specific pressure. I know we call it peers as if like it's people your age or something like that, but actually it can come from your parents, it can come from your children, it can come from anywhere, this pressure. And I had to think about when did I succumb to peer pressure. And I remember a certain time when I started working. I was not a manager for the first time, but I joined this division for the first time as a manager. So there were a couple of people in the team. I think I was leading a team of about 10 people, and they all had cars, and I was coming with my car, and I was driving this Nissan Tida, and you know, one of them said, "Hi, boss lady, you have to up your game because you have to show that you're a manager." I'm like, I played it down, Mara, deep inside, like it's staying. And I thought about it. I didn't react on it immediately, but subsequently I was now interested in looking at other cars, and I bought an Audi at the time. And then it was like, yeah, now at least, you know, when cars are parked, then we can see which one is possibly the boss's car. Fine, had the car for a couple of years, and then I upgraded to a Mercedes-Benz, and I mean, there's really nothing that says upgrade. You just make up all of this. Oh, this car these days doesn't do this. I'm not happy with this. There's always one reason or another, but at the end of the day, listen, you've heard and you know what is the expectation that people are saying or thinking about you. I got the Mercedes-Benz and I drove the Benz. So when I came to Cape Town, I was driving the Mercedes-Benz. But in my previous video, I did explain how I had to adjust when I get into Cape Town, given the cost that we hear, the cost of living in Cape Town, and how I had to sell my car to make sure that at least I can afford to buy an apartment, because buying apartments or a place to stay here is quite expensive. But what maybe I didn't explain is how I felt so light and free. I didn't feel the pressure, people like are looking at me to judge me or to size me up or anything like that. I didn't feel that, and that's why it was so easy to get rid of that car and actually decide I'm just gonna go and buy an i20, a Hyundai, because I didn't have the pressure. Like, there was no one who was expecting me to look any certain way. There was nothing like that, and it was so liberating, and it made my decisions so easy. And I realized there was a lot of pressure that I wasn't even thinking about, to say how I'm supposed to show up because I have to look a certain part. And we may think, no, it's things that I like, but honestly, I think when you're given the opportunity to get out of that environment, you will feel and think differently. So I thought about that, and I thought, you know what, even parents give you pressure. They will ask you, when are you getting married? When are you having a child? When are you doing this? You get married. When are you guys moving in? You know, like, there's forever a story. There's forever a story or an expectation that you need to do something. I know people who've left their marriages because because of pressure, or expectations from their friends. People who miss out on very meaningful relationships because the narrative in the circle that they are in says a guy must have this, work this, drive this, this. And you know that to you those things are not really number one. You need somebody who can just choose you and be kind to you and just love you for you. Whether they drive a small Polo or whatever, it doesn't matter to you personally. But because of the people you're with, the circle you're around, you are ashamed to even say, I met a guy, because you know the first questions they're going to say, oh, where does he stay? What does he drive? Where does he work? And when you look at those things, you're kind of like, this is not going to fly. And you miss out on the relationship. You know, so people miss out on meaningful relationships. They leave their full-time or their husbands because it's about, when are you gonna leave this guy? What do you see in this guy? Like, there's always that constant nagging of people in your life, and you can see it or feel it, or something that makes you make decisions about yourself that literally are almost about pleasing a little bit others, or changing a perspective about how others look at you. I don't know if I answered this poor child correctly, but please let me know and give me examples maybe of how you see this or how you look at this, because people get into debt because you want to wear the same clothes, go to events because your circle does that. People do funny things, and you know you can do it less, but because there's that pressure, even taking care of your family, in terms of, you look in the village, this one is build that their parents a house, this one is build that their parents a house. You know you're not there yet, you don't have the right job yet, you don't have the right money yet, but it's starting to look funny or something, and you know, there's this unspoken pressure. That's what I want to explain. There's this unspoken pressure that is constantly like pressing on you, that makes you want to make a different decision. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It kept me busy. It's been in my mind all weekend, so I thought I should share about it and hear your perspective. Please tell me what you think, how far peer pressure has gone, or what we've had to do because of pressure, even if it's not peer pressure, because of pressure. Your children, schooling, your everything that you do, because you know there's a specific pressure that you can feel here, or just it's there, man. You know that, you know about it, you know what I mean. So yeah, it could be dangerous, but and it becomes difficult to be authentic. I guess what they mean when you say when you're 40 you kind of like don't care anymore about what people say, etc. I think I'm starting to think it's about that pressure to say, I think when you get like over 40, you no longer feel that, oh, that effect doesn't impact you so much. You are able to still not care or think independently. But people who are over 40 can tell us what it's all about. All I know is I see even grown women and grandmothers and fathers and whatever still do certain things because gogo was next door, or kuku mamang, or mahu mamang really so for their child or for their daughter. Now Loena, you are thinking, I need to pick up my socks and so I don't know if it ends. Does it?